So today's class has a classical twist. It will mainly follow the original 34 flow, but not entirely. So let's do some warming up. We won't go straight into the 100. We'll start with some pelvic tilts. So if you've got a head block, just move it away from your neck. Give your neck a little bit of a stretch. Find that nice position where you've got your triangle at the front of your pelvis, pubic bone and the 2 points of your ACIS. Feel your tailbone flat on the mat, a little gap, then your lower ribs, nice wide shoulders. Feet hip width apart, feeling the big toe, little toe and heel. Arms nice and loosely by your sides. And just a couple of breaths, finding your place on the mat today. And on your next out breath, think about drawing the tummy button into your spine away from your t-shirt, just to soften your lower back into the mat. Breathe in, send your pubic bone away from you. Breathing out, curling the pubic bone towards you. Breathing in, extending away. Just 2 more at this level. And final time. And come a little bit higher. So as you breathe out, keep the shoulders relaxed, tilting the pubic bone towards you, just coming up onto your lower ribs. You can breathe in to hold, breathing out, place that lower back down and resend the pubic bone back to that start point. Breathing out, tummy button to spine, curling up to the lower ribs. Hold, breathing out, soften through the front of your body to place your pelvis down. 1 more here, breathing out. Breathing in to hold and breathing out, peeling down, replacing your spine with a pubic bone peeling at the last possible moment. And up higher, just to the base of your scapula, bra strap level. Breath in to hold, keep that pubic bone curling towards you. And as you breathe out, soften through the chest. Place your upper back, middle back, lower back onto the mat, keeping that curve. And then unpeel your pubic bone. And again, if you want to take your arms up to the ceiling with you, feel free. Breathe in, reach them. Breathe out, soften through the chest. Reaching arms for the ceiling, keeping that pelvis curled forward to the last moment and arms by your sides. 1 more time, breathing out, peeling all the way up. Reaching your arms for the ceiling, breath in there, and as you breathe out, peel down, piece by piece, keeping that pubic bone curled towards you until the last moment. And place your pelvis down. Allow your shoulders just to be really wide and heavy, arms dropping into the shoulder joint. Palms stay facing, keep connection, so tummy button to the spine. As you breathe in, reach the arms for the ceiling and breathe out. Allow them to draw back to the mat. Keep your arms as straight as possible, so try not to allow the elbows to bend. Allow the scapula at the back of your shoulder to move out and wide and forward. So you breathe in, and tummy button to spine, breathing out. Allow them to wrap round your shoulder and round your back. Couple more, finding some mobility in that nice shoulder joint and allowing the scapula to move and widen to do its job to help place the shoulder. And then from there, keeping the ribs engaged, so tummy button away from your t-shirt into your spine, arms overhead. And breathing out, recenter. And again, arms overhead. As you breathe in, keep the ribs down. They may or may not reach the floor, depending on how much mobility you've got in your joints today. And breathing in. This time breathe out, take it into a circle. And again, breathing in to go overhead. Breathing out to circle round. Breathing in to reach. Breathing out. All the time keeping your pelvis level. And one more in this direction. So coming back to the start point and then reverse the direction. You can rotate the arms so your palms face the ceiling as you come round, and then have the palms facing down as they come by your side. So you're getting a little bit of shoulder rotation as well. Keeping the arms as straight as you can. There we go, 2 more. So trying to keep the ribs in place, just allowing the shoulder joint to move. When you've finished, I should have said if you want a block behind your head or a cushion for comfort, that's perfectly safe to do so now. Let's move on to arm and leg slides. So palms facing away from you, again arms nice and heavy, wide shoulders. And start just by scissoring arms. So again, breathing in and breathing out. Once you're happy, you can add a leg, really stretch the opposite leg away and come back as you breathe out. So breathing in to extend the leg, again keeping the ribs down, breathing out to return. Of course, you can continue just with arms, just with legs, very much dependent on how your body's feeling each time you exercise. Listen to it. It's not a competition. Sometimes we want to challenge ourselves, other times we just want to feel some nice movement and mobility. So if you want that extra strength work, you can just hover the leg off the floor rather than sliding it, thinking about the back of the leg. And just one more for luck. And then arms down by your sides. We'll build on that. Do some toe taps. Again, you can start off just by engaging the tummy button to spine to get your abs working and just lifting and lowering a leg. Otherwise, bring your legs into tabletop. Allow your toes to just be slightly lower than your knees, keeping the abs engaged. Think about the back of the leg, so squeezing the bum and hamstring to lower a foot to the floor. Breathing out to return, so you extra engagement through the abdominals. And the more challenge you want, the further you take your leg away from you. So the more you feel the abs working, and if you want to put a hand lightly on that abdominal region, you should be able to feel that beautifully. And you don't want to arch the back, you want to keep strong. So your back's not moving. It's a very simple movement, allowing the hip to open. And the more you think about engaging the back of the leg, the more you'll feel that work happening. So just a couple more, and if you want to mix it up, take a heel away. Just see if that makes any difference. And if you find you've got any clunking in the hip, just keep the tap a little bit smaller. And then if you need to, hug your knees in, have a little breath. And then you can place your feet down, again hip width apart. Move on to curl up. I'd like you to take your arms behind your head, keep those ribs down. As you breathe out, nod the chin, curling forward, sliding the ribs towards the pelvis, nothing moving at that end, breathing in. Take arms back overhead. So breathing out, curling up as high as you can without the pelvis moving, breathing in. So we're working the arm joint, we're getting the sides of our bodies working, our serratus and a bit of the obliques, Mainly a lot of transversus abdominis at the front of the abdominals and your rectus abdominis, your six-pack. And then from there, let's curl up one more time, breathing out. And let's move on to 100. So either keep your legs up here, you can take them into tabletop, or you can extend them away. Whichever version you're doing, you can change it throughout. And we beat our arms and breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep breathing, keep beating, keep tummy button to spine. If you need to change and have a hand behind the head, that's fine. If you want to bring your knees in, fine. Feet down, fine. Keep the arms nice and long. Keep curling forward as much as you can, so tummy button to spine. We are nearly there. And we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, final time. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, then hug your knees in. Oh, well done. Just give yourself a little rock from side to side. And then let's move on to our roll up. So arms overhead again, putting it all together. Think lifting the arms to the ceiling, nodding the head, tummy button to spine. You can flex your feet, rolling up. And just give a little reach over at the top. Restack the spine to sit tall. And then think about tummy button to spine. As we did with the pelvic tilts, you're taking your back piece by piece, piping it onto the mat. Arms overhead. If you find you're getting stuck, just bring your arms to the ceiling, nod the head. You can grab onto your thighs, try pulling yourself up, seeing if that helps. If not, come to sitting tall. You can bend your knees, hold the back of your thighs, send your tailbone away from you. Just keep holding, 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 sucking that tummy button into your body to help yourself come down. Roll over onto your side and start again. So sitting tall, hinge, hold on. Your feet can come off. Really focus on drawing down through the abs to get the lower back, middle back, upper back onto the mat. Whichever version you're happy with today. So flex the feet to come up. Point to come over. Each time you should feel yourself getting a little bit more mobile. So if you want the challenge, you can put your hands on your forehead, flex the feet, nod the head. Tummy button to spine to gradually, gently, softly pull you up and over. Sitting tall, and then sending the tailbone away, peeling the back onto the mat. Even more challenge behind the head, nod the head. Curling up, flex the feet. Sitting tall, reaching over, restacking, tummy button to spine, coming back down. Let's do one final time, flex the feet, nod the head, whichever version you're doing, reach the arms up, over, sit nice and tall, peel yourself back down, all that work coming from the abs. And circle your arms round to the side. We'll move on to leg circles, so extend one leg to the ceiling. If you want to have bent knees, just allow the non-working leg to drop to the side. And we'll do 8 in each direction. So find a point on the ceiling and come back to that point at each time. So you can use a whole breath as you circle the leg out, round and back. Number 6 and 7 and 8, and then reverse the direction. So you can have your arms wide for balance if you wish, trying to make perfect circles. You're trying to keep the rest of your body nice and still. The non-working leg, think about placing it so you can feel a bit of pressure through the floor via the mat. So double work on the legs, one more, and then change sides. Same things apply. Nice and tall, straight back of the knee, out, around and down. If you're finding clinking and rocking and rolling, just make the circle a lot smaller, so focus on stirring paint in the hip joint. You want to really find stretch through the back of the leg, making the circle as big as you can. One more. And then reverse the direction. So technique, small as you need to control and feel strong. And 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Bend your knees up again. Just hug them in and have a moment to breathe. From there, let's use some momentum. Nod your head forward. Try and coming up to sitting towards the front of your mat, and just you can take the head block away just to make sure it doesn't get in the way. So we're going to do rolling like a ball. So start if you know what you're doing, otherwise let's find a balance challenge. So toes together, you can have your knees slightly apart, holding on to the lower leg, drawing the tummy button in to rock back, keeping your toes off the floor, so you're just finding your balance point. If you feel comfortable and confident and haven't already started, just go back into rolling like a ball, trying to stay in that curved shape and find that balance at the end. So you can either have knees together or wide apart. You do not wish to smack your head on the mat. You're keeping curved in that ball shape, controlling it again through drawing your tummy button in through the spine. Seeing whether you rock forward and backwards in a straight line is always interesting. My mat has nice grooves in it, so it shows me where I'm wobbling all over the shop. 2 more. Keeping the head nod forward, keep the curve in the spine. And final time. Come to that hover point. Fabulous. So from there, take yourself back down onto the mat. Bring legs into tabletop. Hands on your shins and nod the head, curl forward. And we'll do our single leg stretch. So extending one leg away, curling up, so you're trying to bring your chest up to your knee and not your knee into your chest. If you find it's too much on your back today, lie back and you can just hold onto a shin and do a nice back stretch. So really stretch the long leg away, hug the other knee in. Otherwise just curling up, keeping up. Breathe out, and change, and change, and change, change, change legs. That's it, good. And 5, 4, 3, 2, keep curling up, 1. And then you can hug your knees in, lie back, so we're going straight into double leg stretch. Again, nod the head, press the shins away, keep the legs glued together, heels stay together as you reach into a little V and curl forward. Reach and forward. I like to breathe in as I reach, breathe out to curl up. Breathe in, because it's harder to come back. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Final time, and then hug your knees in again. From there, roll over, coming up to sitting. So you want your legs slightly separated. Think width in the shoulders. Arms facing forward, and I don't mind, palms can be forward or facing each other, whichever you feel more comfortable with. Think tummy button to spine. You might want to hoik some bottom out of the way so you feel your sit bones. And we'll spine stretch forward. So again, feel the backs of your legs earth into the mat. Gonna nod the head. So we breathe out, send the head through the arms reach forward, but they stay on the same level. At the same time, you're pulling back through the abs. Breathing in to restack. Breathing out, pulling back through the tummy area, reaching with the arms, reaching head forward and between the arms. And breathing in. Breathing out. That's it. It's lovely. So we've got always stretch going on, a real strength, so you're pressing with the back of your legs through the mat, really intention, and finding that flexion forward as you aim your head between your arms. Very strong. If you need to rest at any point, do just give yourself a little bit of a wiggle. And 2 more. Sit tall, final time. Reaching forwards, pulling back. And sitting tall. Just give a bit of a stretch. Then come back onto your backs. And you can have the head pad again. The Pilates 34 do jump around a lot. We tend to group things together, but different flow. So you can have your hands slightly wide. We'll do hip rolls, and again, either start with your feet and legs glued together, breathing in to take a knee over to one side, breathing out, use the abs to pull those knees back to the ceiling, and breathing in, rotate to the other side. So keeping as much of the back and shoulders on the mat as possible. And centre. If you want in tabletop, one at a time up, same thing. So you've got to control it even more as you breathe in, breathe out. Use those abs to control the legs, so you're keeping your back, shoulders wide and relaxed. You don't have to turn your head, but it's quite nice just to get a little bit of neck release. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. You can obviously challenge yourself by arms in the air, give you nothing to hold onto the ground with. Really just controlling everything through the abdominals. And if you want extra challenge with the legs, over to one side. Extend the top leg, really stretch it, keep the knees together and in line with each other. Bring back to centre and bend. Breathing in to take it over. Extend that top leg, straightening the knee. Breathing out, bring it back and centre. One more time, whatever version you're doing. Breathing in to rotate those hips. Breathing out to centre. And breathing in to rotate one final way. Breathing out to centre. And then hug your knees in again if you need a little bit of a moment. And again, roll over onto one side. Coming up, back to sitting. We'll do the saw, so this time legs are slightly wider. If you want to sit on a pad for a bit of height, if you find you grip in your hips, now's the time. Arms in line with the outside of your legs. And from here, putting it all together, we will rotate as you breathe in. Breathe out, reach, spine stretch forward. Breathe in to restack. Breathe out to centre. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out. So continue in that breath pattern. And as you rotate one way, if you find you're tight, you can press with the back arm to give you a little bit more reach. As you reach forward, because you want the opposite leg glued to the mat. So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in and center. Think spiraling tall each time you come up and sitting central. It's very easy just to sink into the back. You want to think tall and strong. Doing fantastically, nearly there. One more. Final time to balance yourselves up. Breathing out, reach forward, opposite leg glued down, arms starting to shake. Hard, hard work. Then give those legs a little bit of a wiggle. We will change things up, rolling over onto our fronts. So if you do have a cushion or head pad, you can have it under your forehead, lying down. Have the whole of the front of your thigh on the mat. Think about the tailbone reaching away, arms by your side, head just resting lightly on the mat, on the pad rather. So breathe in, allow your shoulders to lift. Breathe out, continue that lift, slide them down your back to hover your arms, reaching for the toes and your legs stretching away. Breathe in to rotate at the shoulders, thumbs to the ceiling, and breathe out, place yourself back down. Breathe in to lift, breathe out, continue the shoulder blades sliding down, breathe in to rotate, thumbs to the ceiling through the shoulder, and breathe out. Breathe in to lift, breathe out, reach and hovering the arms, thumbs to the ceiling as you breathe in, and breathe out. Place yourself down, allow the shoulders to really fall forward to get the difference as you breathe in to lift, breathe out to hover the arms, breathe in to hold and thumbs to the ceiling, and breathe out. And again. Breathe in to lift, breathe out to hover. Breathe in, thumbs to the ceiling, rotating in the shoulder joint. Breathing out. Place yourself down. One more, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing, thumbs to the ceiling, doing brilliantly. Breathing out, place yourself down. You can take your arms out on a diagonal. Take your legs slightly apart and rest them on the big toe joint. If you want to sit back into a child pose at any point, please do. From here, just going to squeeze the bum, but draw the elbows in towards your ribs. Squeeze the bottom and think lifting the heart away from you to lift the upper body. And then slide the arms away again. So think about stretching the legs. Shoulders again down, squeezing the bottom, keeping the pubic bone earthed. Think stretching forward with the heart and up a little bit. And imagine you've got an orange underneath your chin, so your head is not lifting up or nodding down. It's just at the end of your spine. And reaching forward. And again, sliding in. If you're happy to, really squeeze the bottom and come up onto straight arms. Extra squeeze of the bum as you move forward. And you can draw in on straight arms as well if you feel you've got that strength. If you feel anything in your lower spine, do not take it that high. Keep it low. And two more. Squeezing the bottom, lifting the heart. So I'm feeling a really strong stretch from my tummy button all the way up my chest. And that's what we're aiming for. Squeeze the bum to keep the back safe, tummy button to spine, crown of the head reaching away, lifting through the heart. And then lengthening away again, straight on down. So we can add on to that. Again, it might be worth just double checking, sitting back into a child pose for a moment's breath, then come back into that same position. If you're happy, drawing up, squeezing the bum, with straight arms. If not, just continue with cobra. Then as you bend the elbows or take the arms away, the squeeze of your bum, keeping the legs straight, will ensure your legs are lifting off the floor. So it's a nice strong move. We're on the swan dive. So the full exercise, you're trying not to bash your nose on the floor. You're staying sort of in a little rocking horse. But of course you can just bend the elbows to lift the legs. It's all about getting the back of the legs to work. Just 2 more, whatever version you're doing. Final time. Then come back down to the mat. Take your legs wide, bend your knees, sit back into that child pose. And let's walk our hands over to one side just to find a little extra stretch. Look under the armpit. Inhale that hard work. And then walk your hands the other way. And we'll come back onto our fronts for a single leg kick. Don't need the head block for this. Ideally, we want to be on our forearms, again thinking tummy button drawing in, lifting through the heart, nice and strong. Legs back, slightly separated, but on the front of your thighs, so you're sending your tailbone away. And from there, we're going to think bend the knee to extend away. Start just with slightly pointed foot. Keep drawing up through the tummy button. And there is a nice squeeze of the bottom as well to keep the lower back safe. Don't want to sink into your shoulders. Don't want to just waft the leg. Think proud and strong. Oppositional stretch, so you're pushing into the mat with your forearms. Final few, so we could point, flex and extend away, keeping the bottom squeezed. If it's too much for you today, just lie down and do some hamstring curls or focus on the legs as we're doing. It's lovely upper body strength as much as the legs, so it's a full workout. Final time. And then coming, fully lying down, this time arms lightly folded behind your back, legs glued together, and we're going to do 3 kicks in, but I want you to think someone's pulling your legs away, so you're really stretching them. They're hovering off the floor a tiny bit, and then you do 3 bounces in. Extend the arms, look to the mat, and change your head the other way as you do your 3 kicks. So this is our double leg kick from the original 34. Extend away. So kick, 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 extend. Kick, 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 extend. And the more you think lengthening away and hovering those legs off the mat, the more hamstring work you'll find yourself doing. That's it. One more set each way with the head. Extend, extend, and again come down to the mat, bring your arms around, sit back into that child pose. Nice wide knees, reach the bottom to the heels, and just breathe. Moving back onto your backs, we're going to do scissors, bicycle and helicopter legs. So for the full Pilates one, we come up onto our shoulders. If you're not happy doing that today, you can work with bent legs. Doing the full scissors and bicycle, bring legs into your body, press yourself up onto your shoulders, make sure you can remove your neck and definitely on your shoulder blades, stretch legs to the ceiling, angle your pelvis away from you so you're holding yourself up, then scissor, 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 scissor. Final time. Now let's scissor, scissor, open and circle. Scissor, scissor, open and circle. Scissor, scissor. There we go. Helicopter. I love helicopter. Feels so good. Final time. Restack if you need to. Have a rest. And then we'll bicycle. So bend the knee, stretch the leg. Every time you stretch the leg, think back of the knee, nice and long. There we go. Just bicycling away. And then flex your feet and reverse the direction. Falling off. Don't be afraid to reset yourself up nice and strong. There's no shame. One more time. Then hug your knees in, roll down to come back. We're now going to work on shoulder bridge, so still focusing on the back of our bodies. So back onto your backs, no head pad. Make sure your neck's nice and long. Find that lovely triangle again, abs engaged. Arms loosely by your side, breathing out, think narrowing the hips, lifting, breath in to hold, breathe out. So it's not the peeling off that we do with the pelvic tilt, pelvic curl. It's just lift and lower. Lift as you breathe out. Really think knees over toes. Breathe in to come down. Let's add some arms in. So pressing feet into the ground, breathing out, lifting up. And float the arms for 3. Back to your sides. And 2. And 1. And down. And again, breathing out. And arms. 2. Again, they might not reach the floor. That's perfectly fine. Final time with the arms, breathing out. Float and lift and down. And 2. And 1. You can stick with that if you want the full Pilates bridge, lifting up. Unpeel a foot to the ceiling and lower for 3, 2, 1. Back to the ceiling and down. Place your foot down. Lift as you breathe out. Extend. Really draw that toe away from you. Coming back to the ceiling and down. Final set. So lift and hold. Trying to keep the pelvis on the same line as you work that leg. 2 and 1. Back to the ceiling and down. And breathe out. Lift, extend, lower. 2, 1. Back to the ceiling and extend. Lovely, rolling over, coming up to sitting. A little bit more rotation with spine twists. Legs together again. If you want some height, grab a pad to sit on. Arms out to the side, legs glued together and down to the floor. Tummy button to spine as you breathe in, rotate. Breathe out, think spiraling to the ceiling. Shoulders away from the ears. Breathe out to center. Breathe in to rotate just as far as your ribs will go. So don't allow the arm to suddenly be behind you. It's where it started. So you imagine you're just held somehow, perhaps in the middle of a circular shelf, and you're just stroking that shelf, but using those ribs to do that movement. And if you find that your feet and legs are shifting, really just focus on making it a little bit smaller. It's hard work. You'll get up a sweat if you're doing it right. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Final time. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. Breathe out. Well done. Give yourselves a little bit of shake. Final little bit of ab work on our teaser. Lying back. Don't need a head block. Arms just lightly by your sides to start with. Bring legs into tabletop and then extend them away. Arms overhead. As you breathe in, lift, breathe out, come up to your balance point. And then again, roll the pelvis down and the back down, arms overhead. Try again, breathing out. And rolling back down. Now of course, it might be the first time we've tried this, so try one leg. And you don't mind, you can just keep your arms at your chest level, nod the head, find your leg, walk it up, and you might need to move the other leg, and then walk it back down again. Do that a few times, every day for a week, see how you improve. And then change legs if you're doing it this way. So nod the head, curl forward. As I said, you can take the other leg as far away from you as you need to. Everyone's pelvis is different. And if you can't get it, just focus on sitting tall, hinging, using the abs to control yourself down and up. If you want a different challenge, long arms, legs, tummy, butt, spine, nod the head, lift the arms and legs at the same time. Keep going, whatever version you're doing, just for a couple more. Sitting tall, lifting that heart again at that top point. And then of course just hug your knees in. Have a little rock from side to side because that's hard work. Let's finish off with some nice plank work. Not too many of any of them, but actually as we're on our backs, let's start with our leg pull facing up to the ceiling. Either onto your forearms, shoulders away from the ears, orange under your chin. Squeeze the bottom, see if you can just lift and hold, and then place yourself down. If you're happy with that and want the full thing, take your arms just slightly behind you, palms facing forward if you can, if not out to the side. And again, breathing out, squeeze the legs together, squeeze the bottom. And again, just hold it there if you want, otherwise full exercise. Lift for 3, 2, 1. Change over, 3, 2, 1. You can sit down in between. We'll do one more set. Breathing out, squeeze the bottom, lift yourself up, don't sink into the shoulders. And 3, 2, 1. Change sides, 3, 2, 1. And down. Moving on to side plank as we're doing all the hard work. Again, you can start with forearm on the floor, cross top leg over underneath leg. Keep the knees on the floor as you breathe out. Think lifting through the waist. Take your arm up overhead and come down again. So you can keep at this level. If you want the full one, extend your legs ever so slightly. Arm out just a little bit further. And from there, breathing out, coming onto your side. Arm comes up, overhead, up and down. Up, over, up and down. Extra challenge, feet on feet, she says, falling over. It certainly highlights imbalances when you're working just one side at a time. Again, don't sink into the shoulder. Final time if you can. Scoot over the other way. Set yourself up, bend the knees if you're doing the first version. And any one of them is hard work as long as you're using those muscles. So keeping the shoulders away from the ears, keeping the knees down, using your oblique muscles at the side of your body to do the work for you. Or coming up, over, up and down. Tummy butt to spine, lifting the underneath waist away from the mat. Try feet over feet if you're feeling strong. You can see my arms shaking like billy-o. It's hard work, putting on a sweat. So definitely just work at the level you're happy with. Final time. Lifting long and up, squeezing everything together. And down. Ah, as if that wasn't enough. Final thing. Off. Leg pull facing front. So like a plank. If you'd rather not do that today, you can just try knee hovers. So sucking up through your abs without moving your back or shoulders and putting them down again. Ideally with your feet, front of your top of your feet on the mat. If you're doing the full version, extend leg away, other leg away, so hopefully bottom sort of in line with your shoulders. Shoulders away from the ears, you can just hold it here. Otherwise, wrist, shoulder, ab and ankle work, rock forward and back for 3, so we're not coming up into a pike or a down dog, we're just sliding forward and back. Same as the previous exercise, doing 3 with one leg lifted, change for 3 with the other leg lifted. And again, come down. If you need to in between, one more set, whatever version you're doing. Coming into your plank first. Try working the other leg first. Then the other leg. And then finishing off with your both legs. Doesn't matter, play around. Well done. Sit back to a nice child pose. Stretch the shoulders a bit. Walk your hands towards you. And then stretch out the arm across the body. It's hard work, isn't it? That's what's wonderful about Pilates. You can have it whatever level you need for rehab, just to strengthen and stretch, or to give yourself a really full body workout. And relax. Then tuck your toes under. We'll come up to standing. Bring your head up last. Let's stretch it out a bit, especially the back of the leg. Roll down, nodding the head, tummy button to spine. Think sending the tailbone up the wall behind you. If you need to bend your knees, do. Hang down, keep breathing. Walk your legs forward, or your hands forward into a down dog position. If you can keep your heels down, wonderful. Then just bend one knee. So you should feel a lovely stretch up the back of that straight leg, from the heel all the way up the back of the calf, through the knee. You can press your palms into the mat. Couple of breaths. Place that bent knee down and change sides. So really press the heel of the straight leg into the mat, palms into the mat. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Both feet down. If you want to, bend your knees, walk your hands back. Roll up one vertebra at a time, sending your tailbone back down to the mat, lifting your head, just finishing off with a standing saw and side bend, so arms out wide, toes just pointing a little diagonally. Rotate round. Slowly stretch again. If you need to bend the knees, do, but it's almost easier, I find, than the sitting down version. Rotate round one more time. Reach for a little toe. Breathing, arms into a T again. We'll just side bend over one way and really reach that top arm, earth down that opposite leg, or the same leg as the arm that's reaching, and to a T, and the other side, final time. Reaching that top arm, feel that lovely stretch down the side of your body, tummy button to spine to restack, and it's time to relax. Well done, see you soon.